Waking up with stiff, aching joints is a daily struggle for so many seniors. You stretch, you move slowly, hoping for some relief. What if I told you that a common breakfast favorite might be quietly fueling your joint pain and inflammation, and now even doctors are starting to call it out? Let's expose the truth, which could be the first step to brighter, more comfortable mornings. The unsuspected culprit on your breakfast table. So, what is this popular breakfast food that doctors are increasingly flagging for seniors with joint pain? Drumroll, please. We're talking about high sugar and refined carbohydrate breakfast items. Yes, those quick, convenient, and often oh so tasty options like sugary cereals, sweet pastries, think donuts, muffins, sweet rolls, white bread toast slathered with sugary jam, syrupy pancakes or waffles, and even those fancy sweetened coffee drinks that have become a morning ritual for some. It's easy to see why these foods are popular. They're usually inexpensive, require little to no preparation, and let's be honest, they deliver a quick hit of pleasure. That sweetness, that soft texture, it's comforting. I know many people who feel their morning isn't complete without their usual sweet start. And for years, many of these items were marketed as perfectly fine, even fortified with vitamins. But here's the rub, especially for us as we get older. These foods are typically low in essential nutrients like fiber and protein, but incredibly high in refined sugars and processed carbohydrates. When you eat them, your body breaks them down very quickly, leading to a rapid spike in blood sugar. While that might give you a temporary energy boost, it sets off a chain reaction that, as doctors explain, can be a nightmare for your joints. The general understanding in the medical community now is that a diet high in sugar and refined starches is a major driver of chronic inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation isn't too always bad. It's your body's natural response to injury or infection. But when inflammation becomes chronic, when it's simmering away day after day, it starts to damage healthy tissues, and your joints are often prime targets. Think of it like a slow, persistent fire inside your body. And these breakfast foods are like kindling, helping to keep that fire going. Many seniors might not immediately connect their morning muffin or bowl of frosted flakes to the ache in their knees or the stiffness in their hands. It's a connection that, in my opinion, hasn't been emphasized enough in mainstream advice until more recently. We often look for external causes for our pain, but sometimes the culprit is right there on our plate, disguised as a harmless morning treat. But how, exactly, does that sugary cereal or sweet Danish translate into creaking, painful joints? It's not just a vague notion of inflammation. There are specific ways these foods can wreak havoc. And what you're about to learn about these mechanisms might just make you rethink your entire breakfast routine. The science is quite compelling, and frankly, a little unsettling when you realize the daily impact. How this food fuels joint discomfort. Let's delve a little deeper into how these high sugar and refined carbohydrate breakfasts can directly stir up trouble in your joints. Doctors explain that it's not just one thing, but a cascade of effects. First, as we mentioned, these foods cause a rapid surge in your blood sugar. To deal with this sugar rush, your body releases a hormone called insulin. Consistent high insulin levels, which can happen if you're regularly eating these types of breakfasts, are linked to increased systemic inflammation. Your body essentially goes into a state of high alert too often. Then there's the issue of cytokines. That's a medical term for tiny proteins that act as messengers for your immune system. When you consume a lot of sugar and refined carbs, your body can release an increased number of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Think of these as little alarm bells that are constantly ringing, telling your body to be inflamed. Some of these cytokines, like TNF-alpha and interleukin-6, are known to be major players in conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis, directly attacking joint tissues or promoting their breakdown. So, your sweet breakfast could literally be signaling your body to ramp up the very substances that cause joint pain and swelling. It's a bit of a shock to realize that, isn't it? Another important factor, especially relevant for seniors, is the formation of advanced glycation end products, often just called AGEs. This is a big one. AGs are harmful compounds that form when protein or fat combine with sugar in your bloodstream, a process called glycation. The more sugar you have circulating from those refined breakfast foods, the more AGs you're likely to produce. Doctors explain that AGs are like little bits of rust in your body. They accumulate in tissues over time, and they are particularly damaging to collagen, which is a key building block of your cartilage, the very cushion in your joints. When collagen gets damaged by AGEs, your cartilage can become stiffer, more brittle, and less able to absorb shock. This can accelerate the wear and tear on your joints, worsening arthritis symptoms and leading to more pain and less mobility. Frankly, the thought of our breakfast actively rusting our joints is quite a motivator to make a change. Furthermore, a diet high in these processed foods often lacks the very nutrients that protect your joints. Things like antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids, which have anti-inflammatory properties. So, it's a double whammy. You're not only adding fuel to the inflammatory fire, but you're also not getting enough of the firefighters. For seniors who may already be dealing with some level of osteoarthritis, the wear and tear arthritis, or other joint issues, adding this chronic dietary inflammation into the mix can significantly worsen symptoms. That morning, stiffness might last longer, the pain might be more intense, and your overall quality of life can take a hit. It's my belief that many people just resign themselves to this increasing joint pain as an inevitable part of aging, without realizing that their breakfast choices could be playing such a significant role. Understanding these mechanisms helps us see that it's not just about empty calories, it's about active harm being done at a cellular level. But here's a thought that might be crossing your mind. I'm careful I don't eat donuts every day. The truth is, these joint-aggravating culprits are much sneakier than you'd think, hiding in many popular breakfast options that are often marketed as convenient or even healthy. You won't believe some of the foods where they lurk. The breakfast saboteurs in disguise. So, you're nodding along thinking, okay, I get it. No more sugary cereals or pastries first thing in the morning. That's a fantastic start. But the real challenge, and where many well-intentioned seniors get tripped up, is that sugar and refined carbohydrates are masters of disguise. They sneak into so many breakfast foods, even ones that sound perfectly healthy. It's like they have a secret identity. Let's talk about flavored yogurts. A container of plain yogurt can be a great source of protein and calcium. But step into the flavored yogurt aisle, and it's a different story. Many fruit-flavored yogurts, especially the low-fat versions, are absolutely packed with added sugar to make them palatable. We're talking several teaspoons of sugar in a small serving. It's often more like a dessert than a healthy breakfast component, and many people, in my experience, are shocked when they actually read the label. What about fruit juice? Orange juice, apple juice, cranberry cocktail, they sound like a healthy way to get your vitamins. And while 100% fruit juice does contain some nutrients, it's also a highly concentrated source of natural sugar, fructose, without the fiber you'd get from eating the whole fruit. That fiber is crucial because it slows down sugar absorption. Without it, that glass of juice can send your blood sugar soaring just like a sugary soda, contributing to that inflammatory response we've discussed. And juices from concentrate or juice, drinks, cocktails often have even more added sugar. Then there are granola bars and breakfast bars. These are marketed as the ultimate grab-and-go healthy breakfast. Some are genuinely good, but a huge number of them are basically candy bars in disguise, held together with various syrups, corn syrup, brown rice syrup, still sugar, and often containing refined grains like puffed rice or oats that have been processed to the point where they act like refined flour. Always check the sugar content and the ingredient list. You might be very surprised. Even seemingly wholesome muffins or healthy baked goods from a coffee shop or bakery can be problematic. A bran muffin sounds virtuous, but it can still be loaded with sugar and made primarily with refined white flour, making it a double hit for inflammation. The same goes for many bagels, especially the large, dense ones made from refined white flour. They can cause a significant blood sugar spike. And let's not forget instant oatmeal packets. Plain oatmeal is a wonderful, fiber-rich choice. But those convenient single-serving packets? Many of the flavored varieties, maple and brown sugar, apples and cinnamon, have a surprising amount of added sugar. You're much better off making plain oats and adding your own fresh fruit for sweetness. It really does require a bit of detective work, doesn't it? My advice is to become a label-reading expert. Look at the added sugars line on the nutrition facts panel. Pay attention to the ingredient list. Sugar can hide under many names: high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, maltose, agave nectar, honey, molasses. While some are natural, they are still sugars that can contribute to the problem if consumed in excess. Look for whole grain as the first ingredient in bread or cereal products, not just wheat flour, which is usually refined. It's a learning curve, for sure, but once you start spotting these hidden saboteurs, you'll feel so much more in control of what you're putting into your body. And the good news is that making a switch doesn't mean your breakfasts have to be boring or tasteless. Far from it. Now that we know the problem foods and their sneaky disguises, are you ready to explore some truly delicious, joint-friendly breakfast alternatives that will help you start your day feeling great? The possibilities are more exciting than you might think. Joint-friendly breakfast swaps and habits. We've talked about breakfast foods that can make joint pain worse, like sugary cereals and white bread. But here's the good news. You don't have to settle for boring meals. There are plenty of tasty, filling options that can help fight pain and keep you feeling strong. It's just about making smarter choices. Look for foods that fight swelling, have fiber, healthy fats, and protein. Try plain oats instead of sugary cereal. Cook them with water or unsweetened milk, then add berries, nuts, and a little cinnamon. That combo gives you energy and keeps you full. Swap white toast for whole grain bread and top it with avocado, eggs, or almond butter. If you like muffins, bake your own using less sugar and whole grains. Add things like flax or chia seeds to help your joints even more. Instead of flavored yogurt, choose plain Greek yogurt. Add fresh fruit and maybe a few nuts or a drop of honey. Skip juice, drink water, herbal tea, or make your own smoothie with greens, berries, and a bit of protein powder. If you like savory meals, try eggs, a little salmon, or even leftover chicken. Also, drink a big glass of water when you wake up. It helps your joints move better. Try a few stretches or a short walk to get things going. These small steps, over time, can make a big difference. Start with one swap. Stick with it for a week and see how you feel. A better breakfast can help your joints and your whole body feel great. What if your favorite breakfast is slowly making your joints worse? Could the food you trust be your biggest problem? Like, subscribe, and join us for more health-changing discoveries.